Yes, indeed. Welcome back to Off the Wire, you phenomenal and glorious human beings of this floating rock that we call Earth. I am your host, Noel Olin, aka the Cajun Libertarian. We are going to have some fun tonight. We're going to get in, we're going to get out. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. That helps a bunch because I will literally show your comments on screen and we will talk about them. We are live. Like this is not a pre-recorded session that gets shown as live later. No, we're live. You comment in the comments, I'm reading them and talking about them on air. So please comment and like, share, and subscribe. We're just getting this show back restarted. I guess it's kind of a, not really a restart of a show. I rebranded the whole thing. So yeah, I hope you like it. Stay again. Just to reiterate, we are going to have fun tonight. I'm going to try to not be as not necessarily as animated, but as frustrated with the news. But there's some stuff that I'm going to talk about that's just going to fire me up. So, but overall, fun. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Please comment because that's going to help the show a bunch. Now, let me just give you the rundown of what we got going on for the next 30 to 45 minutes or so because I want to get out of here pretty fast. I want everybody to be able to get to the debate. I know everybody wants to make fun of the debates and blah blah blah, but look, let's be honest. This debate might be one of the most important debates ever because we've seen when you're talking about the normies, okay? The normies have literally not seen a whole lot on Kamala Harris. That's just a fact. They about to find out tonight. We're gonna see how it goes. So we're gonna get in, we're gonna get out, we're gonna have some fun. That's the main point for tonight. A couple of topics to get informed on, and we'll discuss together if you comment. Here's the first one I want to talk about: the dad that was alleged, the dad of the alleged Georgia school shooter, Colton Gray, was arrested, hit with murder and manslaughter charges. Officials say, and I want to talk about that because I think it sets a dangerous precedent. Trump sentencing delayed till after the election. That's huge. Harris campaign for tonight muted mics, quote unquote, handcuffed their debate strategy. Okay. I want to know what your debate strategy was then. We'll talk about that because I already know. But let's start off with the first one because I think this is actually exceptionally dangerous. This sets a brand new precedent that actually it's not brand new because I think there was a case just not long ago where parents were charged for the shooting of that their child did. I think this is horrifyingly bad and nightmarish. Let me explain before everybody gets their panties in a wad. I understand where these minors are this, that, and this. I make these arguments about you know all this other stuff about them not being able to make certain decisions, right? But the nuance of their decisions needs to be talked about. Okay. So, dad of alleged Georgia school shooter Colton Gray arrested, hit with murder and manslaughter charges, officials say. New York Post published September 5th, 2024. I know it's a bit late on this, but I just think it needs to be talked about because I haven't seen it. It got swept under the rug so fast that this is something that's incredibly dangerous and we need to talk about it. The dad was charged with 4 counts of manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children, of Georgia Bureau investigation said the day after his 14-year-old son, Colton Gray, was charged with murder. Now, here's why let me tell you why I personally believe this is exceptionally dangerous for everybody. You can be a progressive leftist. This is terrifying for you. You can be the quote alt right Trumper that everyone's going to accuse all of us that aren't progressive leftists of being anyway. It doesn't matter. This right here is dangerous. That's dangerous for everyone. Now, I know everyone's going to say that's a child. He should have never been given a rifle by the father. And with the history of a potential or alleged. I want to make sure I say this stuff right because I don't want to get caught up in any legal stuff. Just commenting on politics. Allegedly, he gave the son the rifle. Allegedly, uh, potentially both parents had substance abuse issues. Allegedly, the father was very yada 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 blah blah blah. None of that really actually matters. Okay, because at the end of the day, you know, we can have many testimonies of where like 10 and 12-year-olds are given firearms as gifts. Very young kids never shoot anyone, right? So this is perplexing to say the least because what we're doing here is we're not essentially, but actually, literally, we're charging people with the crimes of other people. So if the argument is the kid is 14 and he should be held accountable, the dad should be, then I would 1000% agree if that dad knew that that kid was going to commit these crimes. Then you're complicit. But if you're just buying your and of course they make the big deal about it being an AR-15, which is less powerful than a hunting rifle. That's just the misinformation around firearms is nauseating. I don't even want to go into it, but I'll make that point, right? They made a big deal about it that he bought the kid the AR-15. Mind-numbingly stupid. The 410 shotgun is more dangerous than an AR-15. Okay, I can't say a lot of details, but trust me. And if you don't believe me, go look it up. Okay. So the issue isn't buying the child a firearm. The firearm is no different than buying the kid a skill saw and teaching them how to use it. The skill saw is very dangerous, can be dangerous to yourself and others if you don't utilize it properly. Okay. This is just a nonsense talking point. If the dad knew that the son was going to go commit those crimes, then 100% yes, he is complicit and he should be charged. Now, all that being said, you have to remove the fact that we have proven data now that says that there was an FBI agent attached to this guy. He was within 1,000 feet of him over 14 times over the last year. The dad was investigated by the FBI. Son was investigated by the FBI. It still happened. Okay. You have to remove all of that, all of those facts just to get to, okay, should the dad have bought the kid a gun or not? Well, a lot of dads buy their kids guns. Nothing ever goes wrong, despite all of the household issues. You cannot, these things aren't mutually exclusive. You cannot separate the fact that local and federal law enforcement on every level knew about this kid. You can't. You're never going to get past that when it comes to reality. So the question is, what do we do? What do we do about the law enforcement that failed to uphold their duties? That's the question. Because we, or at least us libertarians, understand these people aren't your friends. They're not. Law enforcement is not your friend. I will prove it here in a minute, and we'll go further with it. So settle down, Republicans, settle down, conservatives. I'm defending your gun rights. I'm defending the fact that you should not be locked up for somebody else's crimes. This is basic common sense. Are we the Soviet Union or are we the land of the free and the home of the brave? We don't lock people up for other people's crimes. Forget the nuance of 100 years ago, a 14-year-old would absolutely be tried as an adult. I don't have the time to go down that rabbit hole as to how we got to the point to where now we think a 14-year-old boy that just shot a bunch of people is somehow not, responsible for his actions. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, it's one thing to be. Oops, sorry, drop my pen. It's one thing to be confused about whether or not a 14-year-old can go through, let's say, transition, right? Because they're making a life-altering decision that they can't ever recover from. They've been tricked. They've been lied to. Nobody ever lied to that kid and told him it's okay to murder people. He was never tricked into that. Every 14-year-old knows you can't just go kill people. Just to snuff out that argument and nip that in the bud real fast. Okay? Being lied to by medical staff for profit is not the same thing as a 14-year-old kid knowing or not knowing you shouldn't go kill kids. Come on now. Get back to reality. None of this gets fixed until everybody comes back to reality. Given the circumstances, alleged circumstances around the home, should he or should have not bought the kid a rifle? I think in hindsight, obviously not. If the dad was complicit, if the dad knew, it's a different story. If it's a normal household, this is not a thing. Grandparents, parents, they gift their kids firearms at a younger age than that all the time. It's fine. So that's not a question. Let me check your comments on that and we'll move on. Oh, lots of them. All right. Isn't the dad a Fed snitch? No, I think the mom is, but don't quote me. I don't know. I just, everything's so. And you know what else is wild? We know more about this right now than we know within what, a week? We know more about this right now than the entire situation about the Las Vegas shooting. We just now got the manifesto from the transgender shooting in Tennessee. Look, we have to be aware that this is obviously a game that's being played to manipulate the minds of the normies, that don't pay attention to everyday politics, that don't get into the nuance of these things. That's important. Zach, again, my mom was nearly charged for a falsified threat I was accused of when I was in school. It's psychotic. This is nonsense. This is not what a free country does. All because the kid didn't want to pay me the $20 he owed me and lost a bet. Oh, gosh. Cops are gay. We'll get there. Infinite zeal. Fire. Let's go. That's right, brother. Oh, yeah. We about to get into it. My buddy RJ just had him on the last Thursday's episode. Oh, what a great episode. It went so great. I had to cut us off at an hour and a half. That was how good that show was. Go check it out. Absolutely. I own a rifle my great grandfather carried at the age of 6. It's such a dumb talking point. It doesn't make any sense. Again, I cannot stress this enough. If the father knew that the son was deranged and had violent implications, or God forbid, the dad knew for a fact that he had planned this stuff, yeah, he should go to jail. Anything outside of that, no, we don't charge people for crimes for other people. Man, we got to go. I got to get this other stuff. There was a shooting at a high school in Omaha today. The details in Omaha look like a personal dispute. Wasn't that the one where I thought it was yesterday? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I think one of them was like in a bathroom between two students, and one shot the other student. Not a young white male on psychotropic drugs who had contact for at least a year with federal law enforcement. Can't come back to that enough. Man, look, if you're still calling us conspiracy theorists after all of this, there's no hope for you. There's no hope for you. Like, we legit have the GPS data of FBI agents, special FBI agents, and others that were within the vicinity of this kid and met with this kid multiple times for, like, I can't remember exactly, but I think it's something like 16 months. Don't quote me. It's crazy. But we don't ever talk about that. You just want to ban the gun or talk about the psychotropic drugs. The second part is valid. First part, no, you can get wrecked. Absolutely not. We're banning nothing. You're taking nothing, and you're going to be mad about it. Go kick rocks. Absolutely not. We're not banning any guns whatsoever. You can shut your mouth on that one. Not happening. Molon Labe, my God, it's just not. It's not going to work. I want to move on to this next one. Trump sentencing delayed until after election, because I think there's some issues around this that not everyone is talking about, which is interesting. To me personally, I'm like, why is this not being talked about? But first, go check out Who Touched the Thermostat, whotouches.com. You can follow him on X at Who Touched the Thermostat, YT3. Go check him out. He gave me the shirt. He made the shirt, and then I acquired it. The one I'm wearing now. Communism is demonic. I've got many of his shirts. Best political shirts online, period, by far. Go check him out. Absolutely excellent. Okay. I want to get to this, and then we're going to get to something else that I want to talk about that's going to piss a lot of people off. But that's what I do. I'm just going to be honest. I'm just being honest with y'all, and I got statistics to prove it. I've got the background to prove it. I got the following to prove it. If you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to watch, or you can watch and learn, and you can get in the comment section. You can combat me. You can argue with me. If you're good enough at it, I'll bring you on for a debate show. It's fine. But before we get to that, I want to go to this. Trump sentencing delayed until after the election. Multiple reasons why. Did y'all catch the Crowder undercover interview from the Mugshot Club? Within 24 hours of that coming out, that judge bailed, delayed the sentencing. This is just beyond, I don't even want to say corrupt. This is beyond unimaginable. Because that guy was dead set on sentencing Trump. So there's multiple factors. Everybody knows that every time Trump gets knocked with one of these, his poll numbers go up. Okay. That's been known for a while. So they could have delayed that a while back. But within 24 hours of the Department of Justice, one of the main figureheads of the Biden, or I'm sorry, not the Biden, that guy's not even president anymore. I don't even know where he is. I haven't seen him in days. Last time I saw him was a picture on the beach. That's crazy. It's crazy. What are we doing? They're throwing it in your face. They're throwing it right in your face. They're telling you. The guy that was duly elected as president, despite whether you want to argue about it or not, the guy that was hired for the job as POTUS of this country 3+ years ago, where he at, y'all? He gone. I ain't seen him since the freaking beach shot. I think he may have done a short video today, maybe. I don't know. That's crazy, though. So why did they sentence? Why did the judge, the same judge that is doing this against Trump, is the one that delayed it right before? So I got two theories on this. The first one is the one that everybody thinks about. And that's every time you do this with Trump, his poll numbers skyrocket because everybody, even the anti-Trumpers, the people like me that have never voted for Trump, we're all like, man, this is just total garbage. Total garbage. Here's the one you might not have heard. And you can go look this up. America First Legal. America First Legal launched, filed a lawsuit into that judge's financial records, and he refused against the law to disclose them. And now he's having to. Take from that what you will. However, I think we all know what that means. I mean, it's crazy. It's just like we're not a real country anymore. This is not. We're spiraling out of control. With that being said, I want to visit something that is a long running issue in this country that I'm just so freaking tired of. Just watch.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on? Why don't you have your seatbelt on? What? Why do you have it on? Hey! Keep your window down! Hey! Keep your window down! Keep your window down, I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Give me your ass, bro. Get out of the car. Give me your ass, we'll break that freaking...
Okay, I'm sorry. That video is just not working. Hopefully, you've seen it. If you haven't, go watch it. It's a Tyreek Hill arrest. All right. And then you got, of course, the both sides just going crazy over it. Both are just completely freaking wrong. And it's maddening. All right. Maddening. If you watch the video, they're absolutely unhinged, arrogant, psychopathic, totalitarian law enforcement. And none of them even speak like an American. Now I want all you to go defend cops because the quote unquote cops in that are obviously Spanish, not or Mexican, and not just pure blood Americans. Now go defend the cops. I want you to do that. That's why I pointed it out. I want you to do it. I'm begging you. Go defend the cops because I pointed out that they were brown. And I didn't even say they were brown. I just said that they clearly have English as a second language. What do you think's going to happen when they import hundreds of thousands of these migrants that don't care one bit about America, and they hire them as law enforcement? They will teach them the base English. They don't care about the Constitution. Go watch the video. These guys are extremely authoritarian. You can have the stupid freaking argument all day that Tyreek should have just complied. And yeah, of course, you would have been the one that would have been telling the Germans Jews were underneath your floorboard, you disgusting human being. I give no quarter to these tyrants. None. I don't care if they were freaking American born and white as the snow or black as the sulfur. I don't care that they're clearly not American born citizens and English isn't their first word. I'm relating it and I'm taking it down the path of what happens in the future. But as of right now, beyond a shadow of a doubt, you cannot have these people with the legal authority to arrest you and kill you. You can't. Under zero circumstances. This can't happen. Go watch that video. Most of you have already seen it. It's completely out of control. They're arrogant. They're totalitarian. You do what I tell you. No, what the you talking about, bro? I pay your bills. You can shut your freaking mouth and write the ticket. Period. This is crazy. We accept this as normal because of decades of propaganda. Just propping up brown shirts, literally stomping all of your rights out to death. The only reason that guy's not dead, probably, is because he's Tyreek Hill. It's crazy. It's psychotic to defend these people. You don't get a pass on being a garbage human being that doesn't respect anyone and just demands authority because of the job you picked that involves a costume you chose to wear for a paycheck. Get it out of your head. You're freaking nuts for defending that. You pay these people. They're public servants. Treat them as such, and they should be held accountable as such. In qualified immunity, hold these people accountable, obliterate their freaking trust fund. I say abolish all police outside of sheriffs. So that way, when they do this kind of crap, you can fire him. Because a sheriff, you vote for. Yeah. Okay. I look, in 2024, the truth is conservative bias. That's a fact. But if there's going to be any coalition between liberty-minded people and the conservatives, you've got to get through this part. There is no coalition and there is no team effort to defeat the progressives as long as you continue to absolve these absolute despotic, tyrannical, evil human beings that are strictly power struck because they chose voluntarily to take that job for a paycheck. Man, stop it. Stop. Not doing it. Nope. Hold them accountable. Period. Now, let's get to the last part of this, and that's what's coming up right now in the debate. I'm not going to talk about Trump because why? Everybody knows Trump. We got 8 years. Excuse me. 8 years of Trump. And we know what we got with the dude. Actually, if you're going to watch and monitor Trump in any form or fashion, it's going to be if he does like he did in the last debate, and that's actually be disciplined and constrain himself. What we're really looking for tonight is what's going on with Kamala Harris, because, again, the normies know nothing about her. So let me give you a little taste that you can share via this show from her. Here's one.
Put the Department of Justice of the United States back in the business of justice. We will double the Civil Rights Division and direct law enforcement to counter this extremism. We will hold social media platforms accountable for the hate infiltrating their platforms because they have a responsibility to help fight against this threat to our democracy. And if you profit off of hate, if you act as a megaphone for misinformation or cyber warfare, if you don't police your platforms, we are going to hold you accountable as a community.
Here's another one. So that one was free speech, right? Complete, utter, just fascist dictator. Use the language, please. when you're arguing with these Democrats, they're not Democrats anymore, y'all. I don't know what to tell you. They're not Democrats. Like I'm 41. I'm an elder millennial. I grew up in the 90s. I know what a Democrat looks like. These aren't Democrats. They're totalitarian, authoritarian fascists that are spilling over into a new form of communism. She said it. She said it right there. Hold them accountable for hate speech? Who's defining what hate speech is? And that's not a thing. And you can't be held liable for that. You can't be held liable. You can't hold these social media companies liable for hate speech and misinformation. But this is literally basic First Amendment stuff. Now, let's talk about the Canadian part.
Person in our nation has benefited from that work. You know, everywhere I go, I tell people, you may not be a union member, but you better thank unions for that 5-day work week. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. So, friends, 64 days until the most election of our lives. Let's just get through the next 64 days. How about that? And you all helped us win in 2020. And in 2024, we will win again. And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024. Yes, we will.
He's going to jail.
Well, the courts will handle that, and we will handle November. How about that? Here's the thing. The courts are going to handle that. We're going to beat them in November. We're going to beat them in November.
Typical politics, right? Typical politics. This is what these people have done for years. This is the fun part. They genuinely, people like her, genuinely don't understand. The internet exists. They know it's out there. They don't look at it. They don't have functions. They're oblivious. They're completely disconnected from reality. They have nothing in common with you and I. It's so obvious that they will do this within 24 hours of the same speech. They hate you. It's wild to me that we continue to justify this or make excuses for it. They hate everything about you. They hate everything that you stand for. They don't understand you at all. They don't want to understand you. They hate everything about you. They don't want to get to know you. They don't want to understand you. No. They want to push out propaganda that they've been getting away with for years because they fundamentally don't understand that you are smarter than them. That's it. That's literally what it boils down to. I cannot stress that enough. They think you're stupid, and they're the people that are stupid. It's quite the conundrum because a lot of people are going to fall for it, believe it or not. I know that sucks to hear. It sucks to say. A lot of people are going to fall for it. And they'll make excuses. They'll justify her acting one way in front of a certain crowd and then code switching for another. They will. They already have. That's who you're dealing with. The most important part of the entire equation is that they believe that you are dumb enough to fall for it. That's the only thing that matters. So are you dumb enough? If you watch Twitter, you're going to say yes. Or X, I'm sorry, Elon. Checking X, you're going to say yes. Absolutely. They're dumb enough for it. I prefaced this next bit of information with that for a specific reason. Because if you're dumb enough to fall for that, you'll never understand this. Kamala is not as stupid as we want to make her out to be. She is a horrible public speaker. She's terrible in live situations. She does not possess that capability. She is very good at being a manipulative tyrant. I'll prove it. Over the past week, she has been absolutely destroyed over a handful of things. We're gonna talk about 3 of them for just a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna get out of here because we gotta go watch the debates. She got wrecked over price controls, utterly destroyed, even by her own media apparatus. Crushed. Price controls. Calling corporate greed as the cause of inflation. We all know that's not true. Literally, I've got a tweet right now. They've said corporate greed causes inflation for months. And then, what was it, yesterday or the day before? She brags about how 25 of the most richest CEOs are backing her. The people that run the corporations that she blamed the greed, which inflation is predicated upon, according to these economically illiterate, mouth-breathing cave dwellers, right? Literally bragged. Her freaking official Twitter account bragging. Look at all these CEOs that support Kamala Harris. After telling you for months that these greedy CEOs are price gouging you and causing inflation. And her answer was, we're going to institute price controls, which even her own side blasted her for, saying that's USSR stuff. That's Commie Soviet Union stuff, which we all know is true. Then she not only doubled down, she tripled down. Now she's talking about rent control. Rent control. This is it's fascism. It's fascism, Democrats. It's the government taking control over the private market. That's the fundamental underlying definition of fascism. I know you mind-numbingly stupid Democrats don't understand what I'm saying right now, and you're probably having a meltdown and a heart attack, and your brain is exploding. You can Google it. It's awesome because free markets gave us iPhones and gave us capitalism, which gave us iPhones, which gave us MacBooks, which gave us cameras and microphones and lights and electricity and air conditioning. All that by capitalism. You know what doesn't provide that? Market control from the top-down government over the capitalistic market. You don't get it. You don't. Okay? So when Trump calls her comrade Kamala, he's not wrong. Also, when the relatively educated communist pops up and says, you don't know what communism means, press him on it. Press him. Because they're playing a semantical game. And this is what the progressive left has won at for many years. And this is the ground that we have to take back. The etymological battle of truth has to be taken, and it has to be won through debate, violent debate, like the violent words, right? Not physical. Don't give them one freaking centimeter. Take every inch back. We have ceded so much ground in the area of language that they continue to win. And that's how they quote unquote win. They're communists. When you institute price controls, when you institute rent control, when you start blaming private industry for price gouging, which doesn't exist. And if it did, it should, because you know what? If my Walmart price gouges and then the local Joe's all one-stop shop says, fine, Walmart can do that. I'll lower my prices. Guess what happens? Everybody goes to the local Joe's. This is what's so amazing about how economically illiterate and stupid the left is. And if we're being honest, a lot of the right. It's why we all get called pretentious buttholes as libertarians. Because how many times can we scream at you saying Ron Paul was right? Like this it's got to stop. You got to listen to us. Yes, we're pretentious. You caused that. The reason for that is because we keep screaming at both of y'all saying you cannot continue this path because the economic consequences that are coming down the road are going to be devastating for everyone. Democrat, Republican, conservative, progressive, liberal, libertarian, independent, anarchist. It doesn't matter. The consequences are going to be rained down on everyone. The same way a high tide raises all ships, a low, devastating tide will sink us all. And that will start and finish with terrible economic decisions, like the fact that I just saw today after Comrade Kamala has been called out time after time after time by everybody on the right and everybody on the left and anyone in the middle. Double down again today, saying she's going to get $25,000 for down payments for new home buyers. They're not going to relent. They don't care. They know they're lying. They know what they say is wrong. Believe me when I tell you that the Harris administration, and Biden's gone, been gone. Dude was dead when we hired him. I use the word we loosely. Okay. This is the Harris administration. From day one, the Harris administration, they know that if you institute a $25,000 like a rebate or something, whatever you want to call it, then everybody's houses just got $25,000 more expensive. And then all of the property value becomes wrecked because it's artificial. This is artificial economics. You cannot solve these problems by throwing money at it. Quite the opposite. You are literally throwing gas on the fire by doing things like this. And make no mistake, the Harris administration is fully aware of exactly what these types of price controls, rent controls, $25,000 for a new house for first time home. They know. That's the chaos, the destruction is the point, because at the end of the day, you can argue the nuance about what is and isn't communism. They're communists. They're long-term communists, and they're actors, and they will be glad to play the play-by-play from second to second, from day to day, from step to step. Very manipulative to be able to say, well, no, I'm not. That's not communist. It's just this. It's just that. It's not social. It's not real socialism. It's not real communism. The ever shifting goalpost is the point. The inability for you to hit the target intellectually on them is the point. They cannot have a set of principles, because if they did, they would never win in the argument of ideas. Now, the Republicans just don't have the ability to even do that. You got a handful that are great, and they do a great job. Thomas Massie, best representative of my lifetime, presents himself as a Republican. Yeah, okay, sure. No, at this point, it's not Republican, Democrat, it's not left, right. It is, are you pro-liberty and pro-free market economics, or are you a communist? That is where we're at in 2024. And the Democrat Party wants to give every opportunity that to people that have no loyalty to this country. They're bussing them in by the hundreds of thousands. And they know what they're doing. Doesn't matter if they can vote or not. They can drive up the census. They can cause chaos, in which that chaos will have you and your neighbors, like we've seen go viral over the last couple of days, going to your local government and begging for help. Which will result in more government power. Because it's by design. Easy way to fix this. Let's just say close the borders off the table. And we're going to end right here. All you have to do is follow the Constitution. Quite literally. Property rights above everything. Self-defense in defense of property. That's it. That's it. If I don't want you on my property, my private property, then there should be no law that I can't remove you from my property. That fixes the entire situation in Ohio. It may take a while. It might not look very pretty, but it works. Also, pull every troop out of this world, put them on our southern border, and fix this right now. Stop this. This is nonsense. No sane human being is like, yeah, we should absolutely just have our borders wide open. No. Any libertarian that tells you that we should have open borders, disregard that. Nope, absolutely not. This is the result. We're looking at it. There's ways of vetting infiltration that you can have, like what would be a quote unquote open border, which is not really that. It's just freedom of movement. It's economic freedom. Like you look, you're going to be vetted. You want to come in, make some money. You want to go back, fine. But you're absolutely going to be monitored, and you're going to be under, serious vetting processes, and you'll have to check in and blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada. If that's how you want to go with open borders. That's how that has to work, which involves more government agency. Or you can just stuck our military on the southern border and say, if you're not an American citizen, you can't come in. Stop causing bloodshed all around the world and prevent the bloodshed that's happening here that the communists are promoting via illegal immigration. And that'll do it for tonight. Let's go watch this debate. This would be a lot of fun. Should be awesome. I'm looking forward to it because it's going to look. Trump really has no give or take in this. He's going to do what he's going to do. His base isn't going to change. It's going to be interesting to see if there's anything that Kamala can do on her feet. Pay attention, because when Trump addresses certain things, does she answer them? Because if she doesn't and she sticks to the script, you'll know right then the script was all that there ever was, and she was probably given those questions in advance, which is against the rules. But hey, we're fighting communists. Communism is demonic. Check it out at Who Touched the Thermostat, whotouchedit.com, and Galatians 2:20. I love each and every one of y'all. Sorry, forgot about that. I didn't forget about it, obviously, but trying to get back out of the rest of this. It's been a long time, been over a year, and I've been back at it less than 3 weeks. So thank you for joining me, y'all. I appreciate it very much. So I love each and every one of y'all, and I will see you on Thursday, 7 Central, right here. Galatians 20.